Episode 5, Ryan Lombardo. Let's go.
That techno has me going once again. I am loving it.
I accidentally hit the intro to my other show in the beginning, so there was a fun jump there for a second.
I saw that. I was like, did we get a new intro for a second?
The 2-man on opener, which is the program Van and I host here in Albuquerque. It's very good, by the way. It's a very good show. Yesterday was a bogus show for us, Ryan, because we had a shooting on campus.
Yeah, nightmare down in Colorado Springs recently.
Oh, everywhere. Like, yeah. All I want to do is, like, this is a 100% shoot what I'm about to give you, like a 100% me. I just want to tell jokes about sports. Like, that's my entire existence. And often there's things in life that aren't that funny, and that it was like all consuming. So I do not care for that stuff at all.
Yeah, it's easy to not be in love with our country right now when things like this happen. And that's what I love about sports, is it can hopefully give us a sense of normalcy and allow us to distract ourselves from the horror of reality sometimes.
Van Nunley will join us a minute into this broadcast because just figuring his tower out. So that is life. That is the thing. Got a fun guest today. Jackson Olson will join us in the Savannah Bananas. We're going to talk to he did a really fun internet series on tasting foods at ballparks around the country. Ryan, you've been to a lot of ballparks. I've been to, I think, 50 ballparks, be it professional, at any level or independent league, and I am also this guy. So hopefully we have a lot in common with that. What we're going to do is put together a Thanksgiving feast with the help of Jackson Olson, who is a food critic and sometimes baseball player for the Savannah Bananas.
He's absolutely a baseball player. And the thing about the Savannah Bananas, that if people that are listening right now haven't seen this show that they put on, Jackson is doing food tastings during the game on the field. He's bringing nachos up to the plate with him. It's pretty amazing what the Savannah Bananas have been able to do. It's really exciting for baseball, and I can't wait to see a game and potentially maybe even participate.
You can't see them, though, because they're all sold out. Every Savannah Banana traveling game across the country, when they made their announcement over the summer, and by the way, we reached out to them. We tried to get them to come here to Albuquerque. They were like, we are already super booked. Like, it's not a thing that's going to happen. But they're literally all sold out across the country. It's the hottest thing. And I feel like this kind of happened after that HBO Real Sports. Van, why were me and you watching that? Van joining us on the program in progress. We tuned into that Real Sports for a different story. I don't remember what the story was. Do you, Van?
Story much darker in nature.
What was it? Do you remember? I can't even recall.
I believe it was the Deshaun Watson story.
Yeah, we tuned in for the Deshaun Watson story to talk about on the show, and then they bookend the episode with the Savannah Bananas thing. And when do we go on to do our terrestrial show, Ryan? We're like, hey, we're not actually going to have conversation about Deshaun Watson. We're only going to talk about the Savannah Bananas. So just maybe possibly the best placement ever by they, but they got a cool product, and we're excited to do it. Van, congratulations on getting your technology together.
All right, start the wave.
Golf clap for Van.
So a little behind the scenes stuff. I'm moving from my home. That's why I got this lo-fi background, and I literally have Miriam, my house cleaner, on the other side of that wall doing stuff in my home, and it's a slight bit echoey in here because I'm in an empty room with just a few sound deafening squares. So WIP, work in progress, baby. And I think while I was cleaning, I might have knocked some wires from my tower, but here we are.
And Ryan, you're in a lookout tower in Denver, right? That's where you're at?
I am. I can see the mountains to the west, or the mountains to the west, and maybe the Atlantic Ocean to the east. I'm so high right now.
I think that's an Arlo Guthrie song. Is that an Arlo Guthrie song?
It should be if it's not.
It's pretty easy to be high in Denver.
That's nice. Hey, do you guys have that thing? Because it's Thanksgiving week at the time of this recording. Do you guys have that same tradition that I have with Arlo Guthrie, where you listen to Alice's Restaurant every Thanksgiving at noon, or is that just a Midwest thing?
I'm not 100% positive I know who that is.
Oh my God!
Ooh! Hand back one of your American cards, Ryan.
You'll have to.
Ryan's Wi-Fi in his tower van doesn't seem to be up to snuff.
Well, it should work better. He's so high up.
No, his Wi-Fi in the tower, I think I think he's on literally the 4th floor of like a Colorado mansion, and his Wi-Fi just gave. So Ryan, you back with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. So Arlo Guthrie did Alice's Restaurant. Arlo Guthrie, the son of Woody Guthrie, who is
Right.
famous for all those Americana songs that are historically inaccurate. So Arlo Guthrie, he did Alice's Restaurant, which is a song about Alice, and that's literally the opening to and it's like a 20-minute long song. And where I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, KC95, which claims to be like more historically significant than it really is as a rock channel, they would play it every Thanksgiving at noon, and the entire city would like shut down. So it was like gas stations would stop pumping gas. It was like the local CBS would go away from the football game for a little bit, and it's just kind of, I don't know, a big Midwest tradition. So I continue it today with whatever girlfriend I happen to find in whatever part of the country I'm in, and they all go, "What is this?" And I go,
What is this?
"Yeah, so you can get anything you want."
Have you ever been dating a girl named Alice when you play it?
Ooh, Inception.
I have not. The only Alice I ever dated was from Italy, and I believe it was Alice, and I was saying it wrong.
Alice.
Yeah, I did. She was.
So what you do, Fred, is you put on the Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah.
You make your plate. You sit down, and then right when the song's over, you press play on Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Super smart.
That's the Thanksgiving ritual.
So what are your Thanksgiving plans this week? Where will you guys be eating? Who will you be eating with?
Van, you leave town, right? You're going home to see the fam.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm going to the beautiful mountains of Flagstaff, Arizona, where everybody in my family except for me lives now. They all got excommunicated from Carlsbad, New Mexico.
Because
and
of their political beliefs?
They fled to Flagstaff, Arizona. So most holidays we do in Flagstaff.
Flee or fled?
They fled. Fleed.
Fleed?
Fled.
Fleed is whenever you're in the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
When he hits you with a funky bass line, you just got fleed.
I am staying here in Albuquerque, which is going to be good. So this past summer, my grandmother passed away. So this past summer, my grandmother passed away. She was like the matriarch of my family. And so I reached out to my family. I was like, hey, I'm going to take one off. Like, I'm not super interested in being sad this holiday season. I already have the seasonal depression, not trying to amplify that. Like, I'm going into like this big, long explanation. And then my family's like, no, we're cool without you. I was like,
they said that's okay way too fast.
Yeah. They were like, well, this makes the next conversation a lot easier, Fred. So so I'm gonna stay here in Albuquerque. I was loosely joking about that girlfriend thing. So this is Courtney and I's second holidays together.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we're gonna hang out with the fam. And then our third host on Two Men On, he's gonna join us, Robert. He's gonna join me and my my in-law family here, and that will be fun because he brings a different culture to the game. So
yeah, he will be playing the role of Sidney Poitier.
Yes, and we'll see how well this goes over at the Thanksgiving dynamic, because I believe they will try to. They're very caring and loving people, so they will try to prepare foods that they believe he will enjoy due to his ethnicity, and I will like to watch that.
Goodness.
I am very excited to see them try to prepare white people versions of black people food, and then have Robert claim for it to be good, only to tell me.
Can I please have seconds? Ugh.
Yes.
Okay, so what you need to do, Fred, is create your own Robert Comes to Dinner hashtag, and then just live tweet the whole thing.
Let him tweet as well, explaining what I'm what I'm seeing. Hey, can your kid eat sweet potatoes yet? Does that happen?
Yes. Mushed up though.
Well, duh.
That's big.
Yes. Mushed. She doesn't have teeth yet.
How long does that take?
Probably a month from now she'll have a tooth or two.
Hey, do you watch the news and stuff differently now that you have a kid?
I was really excited about the first Division I female baseball player that was announced yesterday from Brown University.
Just talking about that.
We're
very
just talking about that last night. That's huge, right?
What was her name? Where's she at? Brown?
She's at Brown University. I just reposted the story. I can pull up her name really fast.
I'll pull it up as well because I just had it. Olivia Pichardo.
Olivia Pichardo. Very exciting.
She's a pitcher.
She also hits left-handed.
Yeah, super utility. Lady Shohei.
I hope she's an all-star, and I hope this is the first of many.
Sweet.
Brown has kind of always been out in front with I don't know what word to use, integration. I mean, Brown has always kind of been like in the forefront of like working in inclusion. That's better. But they do a really good job with that, and kind of crazy to me to think about the training and the upbringing, because like this is obviously the first D1 female athlete to play baseball, but I'm sure that she's been breaking down barriers kind of at every level she's been in.
Sure.
Like there's not like upper tier echelon baseball training for gals. Like that just doesn't exist in abundance.
Yeah, first female all-star for her senior state championship.
That's crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if the San Francisco Giants end up drafting her to play pro, and she ends up being one of the first pro ones, because the San Francisco Giants are also on the forefront of inclusion.
Sure.
First female major league coach. Gabe Kapler is all about inclusion, which I really appreciate about him. I'm interested to see how far she'll go.
Fred, I love we're not even 10 minutes into the podcast, and Ryan has already corrected each of us on our diction.
Oh, yeah. Hey, like you and I are professional orators, and LaVarnway is like, no, guys, I know locker room talk. You guys are doing it wrong. You should hear some of our back of the house conversations.
Yesterday, I had a coffee mug that's not even mine, but I chose it out of the house here, and it said, "I'm secretly correcting your grammar."
Nice. Well, it's not a secret on this podcast anymore.
Sorry, I was fleed.
Hey, I'm sure Olivia is getting like request after that's very funny. I'm sure Olivia is getting request after request for interview, but we got to reach out to Brown. Like their SID definitely would be able to set us up with figuring out a way to sit down and talk with her, because obviously what's coming ahead, very exciting, but I'd kind of like to hear about that entire journey up to the point, like, and kind of overcoming obstacles that are either actual or perceived by me.
I wonder if she's getting all sorts of NIL offers also.
All of them.
Yeah. It's good to be the first of something.
Sure.
It's also very difficult. I'm sure not everyone is as supportive as we feel. Unfortunately.
Oh, that's 100% true.
For sure. Yeah.
I'm trying to like, normally I can come up pretty quick with like a list of things that are specific to like a gender in a sport, but I'm like, what would be like the product? What is like the NIL go-to product that you would want?
Lavender scented pine tar.
It's something like that, but it's not that. No, I'm drawing a blank on that one, because I'm like, at first I was like, okay, I was like, well, there's definitely like female versions of like Bic razors, right? You can get the blue one or the pink one. Like there's stuff like that, but it's like, is that one that really slaps? Because I don't necessarily think it is, but I don't know. Whoever finds it will be fortunate to have it. So
maybe there's like a shampoo product that wants to get into the baseball game that's not already. That it makes more sense. Like I don't want to go straight like sexist stereotypes.
No.
Sure.
Troy Polamalu had the Head and Shoulders deal.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Axe for her.
That's not so bad. As we record the program, joining us now is Jackson Olson, who I described Jackson whenever we were setting this thing up as food critic / sometimes baseball player. But then Ryan corrected me and said he's a baseball player / sometimes food critic. Jackson Olson, how do you self-identify, my man?
I mean, I think you hit it on the head right there. Also, can you guys hear me? Just want to make sure you can hear me.
Oh, you're great. Yeah.
We're good? Cool. Yeah, I mean, I would say exactly what you just said. The way Ryan explained it is great too. I think the cool thing is like I do both. I try to make both like equal. I don't want to do one more than the other, so I want to incorporate both of them as much as I can. So I like both, honestly.
Look at Jackson trying to go over already in his St. Louis bandana. How about that?
There it is. This was not planned.
It's full on plant put up completely for me, your boy. Thank you. The fandom in me comes out. Jackson Olson of the Savannah Bananas. Welcome to the show, brother. Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
What'd you have for lunch?
For lunch, I haven't eaten anything today. I had a protein shake and that's it.
It's
brutal.
Food. That's not food.
Fasting foodie here.
No, yeah. So it's actually funny. I'm not sure, Ryan, you might have seen this. Someone used one of my clips of me eating all this food for a intermittent fasting commercial that I did not know anything about it. And you look at my content, I don't fast. I love food. Someone used all my content and was like, if you wonder how these people that eat all this food stay skinny, it's because they intermittent fast. And I'm like, whoa, slow down a little bit. No, I don't.
Not until you write me a check.
Yeah, seriously.
So Jackson, I got to know you this year through Instagram initially, and then we kind of connected a few times. What I loved that you did was that series where you traveled to all the ballparks and you tried all the different foods. What ballpark have you not been to yet that you really want to get to, and what is that ballpark famous for food-wise?
So I really want to make it to Seattle, and all right. You know what? I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to go just based solely on food, Colorado, and I think you know where I'm going with this.
Buffalo oysters, right?
The word that I probably can't say on the podcast, but yeah, it's the Colorado Rockies very, very famous food. Bull something.
Yeah, I mean, I've had it. I mean, Van. You're a vegetarian. You've had it. Like,
sure.
It's not the texture you would think it is. I think that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I mean,
chewier.
Do they sell those at the stadium?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. It's
Yes.
super
Rocky Mountain oysters, baby. Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah, we grew up with them in Texas too. So
Okay.
I had them as a kid.
Okay. So what's
So
your
you
stadium
mentioned
count at right now? What's your stadium count at, Jackson?
21.
Wow.
21. And
all MLB level or everything.
yeah, that's 21 MLB stadiums.
Yeah.
And I crossed off 18 of them, or 17 of them within a 2-month time span, which was nuts.
Jackson, you mentioned Seattle. Is that for the Crickets?
Yes, that would be for the Crickets, and also the stadium in general. But yeah, I want to see like what these stadiums got food wise. Like there's Kansas City has a Reese's peanut butter cup barbecue pulled pork sandwich, and it's unbelievable.
Wow.
I
Unreal.
feel like the Royals just said they were leaving Kauffman Stadium, guys. I'm not trying to make anyone sad here, but I just feel like if you haven't been, like, make the effort to get out there before it's gone. I know, Ryan, you have been, because that's where your freaking Major League Baseball debut was.
It was very cool. I actually really like that stadium. I wonder where they're going to move, because they have the setup where the baseball and the football stadium share the same parking lot, and it kind of makes sense as a sports hub for the town. I wonder where they're going to go.
I think they're going downtown, is my understanding. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then Jackson, are you a Missouri guy? I see the St. Louis Cardinals headband.
So, okay, my parents lived in Missouri. My dad worked for Rawlings Sporting Goods for 40 years.
Yeah.
And
So
their headquarters is in St. Louis. I think I think they might be moving somewhere else shortly, but I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I mean, they lived in St. Louis, and not a Cardinals fan, but kind of Cardinals fan.
So I'm from St. Louis, Missouri, and Rawlings, by the way, boys, was a sponsor of the show I did in St. Louis for a long time. Like, Rawlings has a super cool, like, it's in St. Charles, right outside of St. Louis, and you can go and like tour, and they have like all the gold gloves. It's just the coolest shit kind of thing, and so you can go out there and like just see it. It's, I don't know, insanely cool. But anyways, the whole point of Kauffman Stadium is they're moving it downtown closer to the Negro League Hall of Fame. And like, there's a group of people that are as pro this as anyone you ever met. But then there's a bunch of like country bumpkins that are like, we hate change. So it's like this big outrage about Kansas City.
That's the thing about baseball. There's always the old school traditionalists that don't want to resist all change, even if change is for the better. If you've been to that stadium, like when we play there, we stay at the Intercontinental downtown, and getting to the stadium is a huge pain in the butt. So
right.
I'm glad it's going downtown.
I think it's good for the sport too when like your stadiums are centered to cities. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of, like, I think Phoenix is a really good example where you have to go way out. Like, if you want to go see football, well, I guess it's not as way out as it used to be, though. They kind of built all that stuff up. If you like strip malls, go to Phoenix. Like, they're freaking everywhere. Jackson, we're talking a little bit about food. We're talking to you about traveling the country. We were going to put together like a Thanksgiving meal. We were going to say like a ballpark foods, Jackson. Like where do you start? Where do you finish? So I think are we thinking like apps, entrees, and desserts, boys? Is that kind of what we're looking for in the Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah.
Oh, I got this. I've actually thought about this. Make a video about what I would eat for Thanksgiving dinner if I was at a ballpark. So we would start with fried cheese curds as the appetizer from
Milwaukee.
Smart.
And for my like main meal, you probably have never tried this at the White Sox at Guaranteed Rate. They have it's like a buffalo wing on top of buffalo wings on top of fries with ranch drizzled all over it, and they
like a smothered thing,
and they just smother it, and it's like probably one of the best things I've had, and that would be like probably another appetizer, like the French fries and like buffalo wings, and then I would have to go with like honestly probably the Reese's peanut butter cup like pulled pork sandwich as the main course. Like that's my main course. It's kind of a dessert, but like it's pretty good. And then again from Guaranteed Rate, they have a 7-layer 7 different flavors of ice cream stacked on top of each other on top of a cone, and it's literally like it's probably 1 foot tall, and it's unbelievable. So that's my meal.
Can we unpackage real quick that peanut butter cup pulled pork sandwich? Can we expound on that a sprinkle?
Yeah, it's actually not. So the way I'm probably explaining it doesn't make sense. You probably think there's actual Reese's peanut butter cups in it, like on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, just like mixed in the sauce of the pulled pork, and it gives like that. It's like the most savory food I've ever had, probably ever. Honestly, like I love chicken parm, and like that's very savory, but like this was the most I've ever had.
It has an onion ring on it too. So like, well, at least the one I was familiar with. So it's the pulled pork, it's the barbecue, and then they smash an onion ring on there too with like cheese or whatever, and then you try to like as much as you can compress it into something you can fit in your mouth.
That's news. That is news to me because I did not have an onion ring on mine.
I mean, I like to party. So.
Yeah.
I'm imagining they need some sort of crunch to go with the creamy and the savory with the sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get the other food in the stadium. That's what happens. You get the crunchy with like, and then you end up spending $1 million. But yeah,
what's the name of that onion thing that everyone in the Midwest puts on like salad and casseroles? What is that thing called?
The French's onions.
Yeah, the French's onions.
Yeah.
That would be the hit. That would be the hit on that for sure.
Oh, that would be perfect. You need to bring that to them now. You need to DM them.
So Jackson, you gave us the appetizer, the entree, and the dessert. Let's say we need a side dish. Let's mix in a vegetable. Did they have any of those on your tour or no?
Nice.
All right, so they had. I'm trying to think if they had any formation of a salad at all. Not for purchase. If you're in a suite, they always have salads and they always have that. But honestly, the most veggie you're gonna get is the tomato on a burger. So they do have veggie burgers at some stadiums, but like that's just like useless to me. I'm not trying to be healthy. So
the onions and Skyline chili is what Jackson says. He's like, yeah, no, that totally checks out. Ryan, what was the one in Cleveland? They put like cereal on a hot dog. Did you ever have that?
I mean, my experience of the stadium is very different than Jackson so far.
They brought you salad, Ryan.
Yeah, well, when I think about stadiums and the food in it, I think about Philadelphia. They have the best cheesesteak in the city is in the locker room, and they actually have a contest on the wall for an individual and a team who can eat the most in a 3-game series or a 4-game series.
Wow.
All right, who was the record on your squad?
Oh God, I think it's definitely one of the guys that didn't play very much because you eat like 6 Philly cheesesteaks in 3 days, you can't move. Also,
it's the reliever who just pitched yesterday. He's like, I'm going in, brothers.
It's the swing man that threw 6 innings on the day as we came into the stadium.
Yeah.
Also, New York, they have like 6 short order chefs in the locker room, and I swear to God, this was a Steinbrenner invention. They're trying to fatten you up and slow you down as a home field advantage by giving you the best and richest foods in the locker room.
Jackson, are you keeping the palate fresh with water? Or are you partnering all these bad boys with Bud Light?
Mostly water and soda too. It's so weird, but like soda makes me hungrier. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if that's like a scientific thing, but some people have told me the same thing where like they'll be eating and then if they drink water, it makes them more full. But soda, it gives you like that, like you're hungry again, you're thirsty again. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, but it works.
I wonder if
I'm no expert. Sorry, Ryan. I'm no expert on this, but if you go sweet, savory, sweet, savory, sweet, savory, every bite, your brain is tricked into being hungrier. That's my understanding.
That makes total sense because that's what I would do. So
I wonder if
Yeah.
it's the battery acid in the Coca-Cola that's helping break down the food and get it out of your system faster.
That's probably it too. It's probably both of those equally.
Jackson, we're talking a lot about your food criticisms as you travel around the country, checking that out. But you play a little bit of baseball too, my dude. The Savannah Bananas, who we were talking about before you joined the program. As Van and I were not privy to the Savannah Bananas until the Real Sports HBO special that aired.
Fred was. Fred wasn't. I was.
Oh, okay. So that was my learning. With that said, you guys kind of sell out everything at home, and you're going on a road for a tour, and you're selling out everything there. Are these the biggest crowds that you've ever played professional baseball in front of? And what is that experience like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be, we're gonna play in front of 500,000 fans this year. And I mean, I always talk about it. Like a year ago, I was delivering groceries and getting yelled at by Instacart customers, and now I'm playing in front of 500,000 fans with some of my best friends I've already made being on the Bananas. It's like an absolutely incredible like thing to be a part of. And I'm just like very thankful that Jesse brought me on. And I got that call from him asking if I was all in, and I couldn't say yes fast enough. And yeah, we're going to play in front of a lot of people this year and just make people happy and make people smile. And that's the main goal of it all.
Jackson, I know one of the fun rules that you guys play by is if you hit a foul ball and a fan catches it, the batter's out. Have you had that yet where you were hitting and you fouled one out and you didn't get to hit again because someone caught it, or do they purposely drop it when the home team's up?
Lost Ryan.
So, they try to. I mean, we try to make it so people don't. But they're like, Party Animal fans are coming out of their shell now. Like there are fans of Party Animals that don't like the Bananas, which is actually kind of good for the show because like you want both sides. It's not like there's no Generals fans with the Harlem Globetrotters. Like no one cares about the Generals, but like people actually care a lot about the Party Animals, and it's an even game on both sides. But going back to your point, our shortstop hit a foul ball, and I saw him like getting ready for his next like swing, and I'm looking over and I'm like, oh my God, someone has his glove out and he's going to catch this ball. And he caught the ball, and Ryan, our shortstop, like didn't realize it at first. And the umpire just goes, "You're out." And we're all like, that did not just happen. Like there's no way someone just caught a foul ball on the Bananas. And it ended up being great because like everything that happens is part of the show. So Ryan did that, but he laughs about it because the Party Animals go celebrate with the fan that caught it, and everybody forgets that Ryan just fouled out to a fan. So like nothing that you do is really remembered except for the fun stuff that you do. So your performance on the field is important. Obviously you want to do well, but the fans don't care about that. Like after in the Plaza Party, like no one's like, oh my God, you had a great game. Like you hit 5 home runs. Like, yeah, if someone hits 5 home runs, it's awesome. But like when no one talks about that, it's about, oh, that dance you guys did was so fun in the 3rd inning, or like that promotion that Jesse did in the crowd was so fun. Like that was my favorite part. And that's what people remember. So
is there like a WWE vibe in between the Bananas and Party Animals? Because it's obviously good guy, bad guy, but do some players like switch back and forth, like go heel face and turn Party Animal and go bad guy, or vice versa?
So we're actually going to play into that a lot more this year. They haven't really, just because they've been building the characters of the Party Animals and the Bananas. And now I'm actually pretty sure the Party Animals are not the Savannah Party Animals anymore. They're just the Party Animals. So they're like their own thing. Obviously the Bananas still own them, but it's really fun to see. Like the Party Animals will come over the fence with fireworks before the game, and they'll like act like they're literally the villains, like coming to disrupt our show. And all the Bananas are like kind of like scared, and we're like, oh my God, the Party Animals are coming for us. And yeah, it's a lot like WWE. I think Jesse gets a lot from WWE, from like The Greatest Showman, like circus type stuff, TikTok dances. Like it's everything. It's everything.
So obviously you still have baseball practice, but is it like baseball rehearsal? Like, is it like preparing for the Nutcracker? Is it that kind of like preparation into going to work?
Oh yeah, it's the hardest work I've ever. I mean, it's not. I don't see it as work.
Not Instacart,
but like it's harder than playing college baseball. 1,000,000% harder, because you have to focus on like, oh my gosh, I have to perform on the field, but I also have to remember the dance that I learned like in like 5 hours ago or like a day ago, and if I'm scoring the 4th run of the game, I have to do this certain dance. And so you have a lot going through your head the entire game, where you're on the entire game. You can never take a minute off. When you run off the field and you get the 3rd out, you have to make sure that you're not doing a dance on top of the dugout right away, and you have to run up there. So like there's no break in the action. It's 2 full hours of go, 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 go. And obviously we learn all the choreographed stuff before the game, so we know all of it. But like still, we have to remember, okay, in the 3rd inning, I'm doing this at this position. So I have to make sure that like even if I make a cool play or make an error, whatever I do on the field, it's not about that. It is not about that whatsoever. It's about what you have to do after that.
And when you do your food critic stuff on the field, have you ever had a experience where you were in the middle of eating something and you got to play and you're on camera, right? You're mic'd up for these experiences, which is very cool. But are you trying to talk and you got food in your mouth and try to make a play at the same time?
Yeah, I actually posted this. I posted a video about this. I was mic'd up, camera on me, and I was eating a hot dog, and I ate the last bite of the hot dog, and I was like wiping off like this kind of, and I look over and a ground ball comes at me, and I had to like jump up and get it, and I threw it, made the play at first base. I posted this a little while ago, and I'm still mic'd up, and I'm like, I have a cramp right now. That's like really, really bad. But yeah, that happens. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So
Most people understand the shtick and get what the Savannah Bananas are about. But do you have like any hecklers, any haters who show up to the game and, oh, this isn't real baseball. Get off the field.
you could come and say that. That was a really good impersonation
Thank
of
you.
a heckler. No, we don't. I mean, anyone who maybe in the future we will, who knows? It's still, we always talk about it in the clubhouse and on phone calls. Like we're just getting started. Like this whole thing, yeah, it's big, but like we're at like ground level right now. And once, I feel like maybe in a year, a couple of years, there's gonna be a lot more haters, whether they are just jealous or whether they actually hate it because it's not like real classic baseball. There are going to be those people, but not right now. I mean, even if there are probably hecklers that would come to a game, we just want them to like watch the first couple innings. And we swear, if you come and watch the first few innings and you don't like it, like, okay, but there aren't many people that don't like it because it's like Disney World. Like you're walking into Disney. Like, how can you like hate Disney World? I don't know. That's the way I see it. That's the way I've seen it for a while now, even when I wasn't a player.
I was at a WrestleMania where they booed John Cena. So I promise you, like the good guy catches heat. You were talking about just getting started, right? So let's go back to like your interpersonal relationship with just getting started. What was the interview process like? Like what is the behind the scenes of? Did you have to apply? Were you found? Kind of what was that journey for you to become a part of what is? I mean, without pulling punches, maybe the most entertaining thing in baseball currently going.
Yeah, so I had to make the Bananas, you have to perfect 10 TikTok dances in a row. Okay. And they play, I'm kidding. But no, so there is a tryout. They actually just had the tryout for this world tour like 2 days ago. And but the way I did it, the what?
And you're back. They didn't cut you.
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah. But I did not try out for the Bananas. My tryout was like through TikTok basically. So I was kind of like shooting my shot with them on TikTok and kind of like showing them that I wanted to play, but not coming out and saying, I want to play for the Bananas. Just like really creative, fun TikToks. And then Jesse, the owner, caught wind of them. And eventually we got in contact, and then he called me one day, and I'll never forget it. We're talking for a while, and then he goes, "Are you in?" And I'm like, am I in? Like, for what? Like playing, making content for you guys? Like, I literally had no idea. All I knew is I wanted to be a part of it. And then he was like, "We want you to be our third baseman." And I said, "All right, I am pausing my life, whatever's going on in my life right now." I was at the College World Series when he called me, and I'm like planning on going on more MLB tours and finishing all 30 stadiums. And I'm like, that's getting put on pause. I'm a Banana now. Like, I'm all in on this whole thing. So, yeah.
Very cool. I've seen some of my former teammates, former big league guys that come out and play with you guys. Josh Reddick, I think, hit a walk-off home run. Jonathan Papelbon was out there playing with you. How do these MLB guys get involved, and how can I maybe play with you guys once or twice?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, so they actually, Jesse reaches out to them typically, or they'll reach out to Jesse. So Johnny Gomes, I'm almost positive with Johnny Gomes. They were in his area last tour, and I think he might have reached out and been like, "Hey, can I play with you guys?" It was either him or Jake Peavy, one of the two. And I think the coolest thing is that these former major league guys who were superstars, like Jonathan Papelbon, superstar, they come to Banana Land and they're not a former Red Sox player. They're a Savannah Banana. Like, and I say that very like loosely, but it is a very like strong statement that they actually come and they are molded into a Savannah Banana. And yeah, they get introduced as Red Sox legend by Jesse, but right after that announcement, they're a kid again. And you can see it in their eyes. You can see it the way they play. Like, they're able to finally have fun. It almost reminds me of like a Field of Dreams type thing where the guys come out of the corn and like they're able to play baseball again. And it's like they were so serious their whole entire lives playing baseball, and now they get to actually like show what they're actually like. Jonathan Papelbon wearing a kilt brings his World Series trophy out, puts it behind pitcher's mound, and dances in a kilt to shipping up to Boston. And it's like that was probably the most fun he's ever had playing baseball. Not the most like the craziest thing he's done, like winning a World Series or any of that stuff, but like he really encapsulated what it was like to be a Banana on that night.
Most people who say, I want to be a Banana, get institutionalized, get put on medication.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like after you got the gig and you went to your folks or you went to your loved ones and you said, I'm a Banana now? Like, what was their reaction?
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't know what the Savannah Bananas was before, they might have institutionalized me and been like, we're not even sure how you got a college education. But because they knew what the Savannah Bananas was, they were over the moon. They were so excited. I'm actually not sure if like my brother and sister knew what it was, but when I told them and I explained it to them, they were like, this is so exciting. And my brother, my mom, and my dad all got to get out to a game. So exciting for them. And I gave them like a little bit of what it was going to be like. And I told them, all right, this is what's going to happen now. And then in the middle of explaining it, I was like, you know what? No, you guys have to just come and experience it, because you can say all you want and watch as many TikToks and Instagram reels and every social media thing ever. You can watch the entire documentary, but until you walk into Grayson Stadium or into any of the stadiums we're playing at, you don't know what a Bananas game is like. And that's the coolest part about the whole thing. Like we have 3.7 million TikTok followers, but only the people that have come to a game really know what the Bananas is and like what we do. So
Ryan, you will be busy on March 31st, but Van and I think we're going to go to Scottsdale. That'll be our plan. So the Savannah Bananas will be in Scottsdale on the 31st. That's we have the Frontier Pass, so we can get there for like $5. So we'll fly over, be a part of
luggage.
That. Yeah, no luggage. Don't act. We'll just buy merch when we get there. That's our plan. Nice. Like in yellow out and do the whole thing. Jackson, anything we missed? Anything that's going on in your world that we need to know about? We didn't plug your social media. If you would share that with us.
Yeah. So social media is Jackson Olson on TikTok and then Jay Olson 2 on Instagram. And one really cool thing that I haven't really totally announced yet, I put it on my story a couple days ago. I'm going to be doing a really fun series next year for every city we go to involving food. The current name for it is Jackson's Junk Food Chronicles. So not going to say any more of what it's going to be, but it's going to be really exciting. And I'm going to get all the fans involved on social media and people in person too. And it's going to be really exciting, and a lot of food's going to be eaten. So that's going to be fun.
Put us in for the one in Scottsdale.
You got it. 100%.
Because as Van, a vegetarian, we can make you break your no veggie rule or wherever we're at. And I feel like this will be a good play.
Brother, you know I'm a win in Rome vegetarian. If I'm out of town, it's not my day-to-day. Let's roll, baby.
Let's go. Love it. Love it. Yeah, if you guys come to Scottsdale, let me know, because we'll have some fun. You guys can maybe throw an inning or no.
Hey, to see Van like spend the entire day warming up the shoulder for one pitch and to blow it out, I'm in. I could not be more excited to watch him. And people in the stands will be like, is this a work? Is this part of the performance? And it's an actual stretcher coming out to safety.
That's so funny.
Final words, boys?
Good thing I'm a amphibious pitcher. I get to use both arms.
Not what that word means.
And breathe through your gills. Jackson, hey, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so glad we finally got to do this. Appreciate your time, brother.
Yeah, thank you guys. This was awesome.
Thanks, Jackson.
Dude. Jackson Olson, the Savannah Bananas, also loves food, boys. What a good setup. Thanks, brother.
Two best things on earth, baseball and food. Sprinkle in some beer.
There's one more too, Van. There's one more.
Not talking about it on here. This is a family show, Fred.
Jackson, be good.
All right, see you guys.
What a good dude.
Yeah. It's a great interview.
Ryan, outside of us, you know some cool people.
Yeah, well, you guys obviously top the list, but I try to bring some of my other buddies on here.
How short is this list? Like, there you go for Thanksgiving. Obviously, when Jackson was with us, we want to spotlight everything he's got going on. I used to work for an independent league baseball team, boys, and it was a Krispy Kreme donut they cut in half. They put the sugary side down, and between it, a cheeseburger and bacon, and that was the bun, was the Krispy Kreme cut in half. And you can recreate this thing at home pretty easily, but I would encourage you to eat a Krispy Kreme bacon cheeseburger the next chance you get. Also be prepared to nap after that. Your BD's really tough.
And go into cardiac arrest.
Delicious cardiac arrest.
So one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is one thing Jackson does that I love is he ranks the food he eats at every stadium. With this being Thanksgiving week, I would love to rank best 3 and worst 3 Thanksgiving foods.
Ooh, okay.
You want to go worst first or best first?
Worst first, so that we have the best to end on.
Cranberry sauce is a joke.
Definitely worst for me.
It's definitely a worst. Like I don't even want it on my plate. Like I don't want it on the table that is serving food to me. Also, we go cafeteria style at all the Thanksgivings I'm a part of. I don't know how you guys do it, but put cranberry on my list of miss.
Let me expound on the cranberry because I got cranberry on my best and my worst list. On the worst list, you got the canned cranberry that you just shake the can and it goes
jiggles
and
out,
falls out. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Disgusting.
But my mother makes this from scratch, fresh citrus cranberry sauce that is out of this friggin' world. So my mother's citrus cranberry sauce is in my best. Canned cranberry is in my worst.
I'm going to go out and say stuffing is also on my worst.
Ooh.
That's very wrong, but keep going.
Yeah, stuffing.
Hot take.
I've never been a fan of stuffing. I don't understand it. To me, it's like soggy breadcrumbs with a little turkey seasoning in there. What am I missing here, and why do people like this?
Are you talking like stovetop? Are you talking like in the turkey?
I'm talking the stuffing that I've had in my life. I don't know.
Okay. So I'll expound on that as well.
There you go.
So basically the whole gamut of Thanksgiving food and sometimes Christmas food to me is bland and boring and smushy and no texture and no flavor. It's just like, we've been eating this for decades and decades. If you give me Thanksgiving food on any other day except for Thanksgiving, I am kicking you out of my house. We are not friends anymore. That is gross. And stuffing is a perfect example. Are you going to eat stuffing on April 14th? No, you're not.
I will go to Cracker Barrel every day of the year just to argue what you just said. Like Turkey Thursday to me is a very important day.
You already go to Cracker Barrel every day of the week. What are you talking about? By the way, the lovely people at Cracker Barrel, reach out to us. Fred at Talk ABQ or Van at Talk ABQ.
Love
to have you as part of the team.
So I'm the broadcaster for New Mexico Highlands University. It's in this town called Las Vegas, New Mexico. Cool. There's this little restaurant. You can get a Thanksgiving burrito. It's a burrito. Cool. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravies, cranberry sauce, corn. They roll the whole thing up. You eat it like a burrito, boy. It's the best thing you'll ever put in your mouth. And if they served it year round, Van, I would have it.
It sounds mushy. I need a crunch to go with that mush. Where's the crunch?
Or some French's onions
in there.
Oh yeah, French's onions. I don't know if this one's Midwest or not, but on my miss list, Waldorf salad. Do you guys eat that?
Ooh, see that I actually like.
Oh, I love that. Not on Thanksgiving though.
My grandma Slow would make it every year, and then as she got older and things got weirder, she would for the crunch that you like uncooked ramen noodles, she would smash up and put in there and do weird stuff. And
that's a big no.
That's a classic Grandma Slow mess around. So Waldorf salad is on my miss list.
At our Thanksgiving here in Colorado, my wife's grandmother, who has always been Nana but is now Gigi for great grandma now that there's
Nice.
another generation in the mix. She disallowed all kale salads. No kale allowed at Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm a fan of hers.
Okay, no Waldorf salad, no kale salad. What the hell is Van gonna eat when he shows up?
The only vegetable that you're allowed to have is a sweet potato.
Oh, okay. Perfect segue into my hit list. I love sweet potato casserole. Everything about it, whether you make it sweet or savory, usually my family makes it a little more dessert style. It's
Mhm.
one of the dishes I make. So sweet potato casserole is definitely on my hit list.
Well, you went to hit because I didn't even finish my most hated of all.
No, it could bounce around.
What do you got?
Pink lady salad.
What are you
I don't even know
talking
what
about?
that is.
Oh my gosh. It's strawberry jello. It
Oh,
is
okay. This
crushed
is garbage.
pineapple that's drained, cottage cheese, like Cool Whip. You put it together. Oh God, you put it in the fridge. It gets cold. It's terrible. Also, I kind of miss Grandma Slow right now.
Oh, buddy.
I'm gonna say ew to the pink lady salad and move on and give it 0 more seconds of my attention.
Smart.
Favorite, the gravy on the turkey. Turkey with gravy. How do you guys do your turkey for Thanksgiving? We do one baked and one fried.
You eat 2 turkeys?
Well, you have a little bit of each. You don't have the whole turkey.
I don't do leftovers. I'm not a leftover guy.
Not a leftover. That's what Thanksgiving was invented for.
I don't eat leftovers.
So for years and years and years, our family did a deep fry.
Okay.
So we deep fry 2 turkeys, and my dad is, my whole family are just great cooks. My dad, he's the meat master. He was quite disappointed, and I mean that in food only. He was the meat master, and it broke his friggin' heart when I went vegetarian. Like, I could have told him that I was gay, and he'd been way more supportive than me being vegetarian.
So what do you do? A tofurkey?
No, I have a couple bites of turkey on Thanksgiving. I just don't engorge myself. Yeah. It's a holiday.
It's when in Rome vegetarian.
When in Rome, baby. See?
I grew up where I grew up, again, Midwest boys, like super stereotypical. I've cooked about 0 times in my entire life. Like we had like stringent gender roles that I didn't know existed as a child that bled into my failures of adulthood. So I assume my turkey that I eat, always prepared for someone else, is baked or fried. I don't know which one I prefer because I also don't make my own plate. So I'm a guy who does. I do say this every time, so I guess this is my number 1 on the hit list, which is green bean casserole. Get an extra scoop. So that's me.
Green bean casserole is very controversial. People either love it or they hate it.
Love it.
I personally love it. That was always my favorite growing up. When I brought it to my wife's family's Thanksgiving, excommunicated.
Ooh. Oh my God.
I don't like that.
Yeah. Not popular it's popular on my plate.
So green bean casserole adjacent on my hit list is also a dish from my mother. It's called shoe peg casserole. Are you guys familiar?
Never heard.
It's kind of a green bean casserole hybrid, but it's green beans and corn and the cream sauce and spices and a little bit of onion and garlic with the crispy top, like the French's onions, but like fresh and delicious. It is fantastic. Anybody who comes over to the Nunley household on a holiday gets to have shoe peg casserole, and they're immediately in love.
Interesting. You might need to get with a marketing team and rename that, because anything with the word shoe in it doesn't sound extremely appetizing.
Yeah,
excellent point. I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
The
or
regional
pegging.
Good call. The regional one when I moved to Albuquerque was like the first gal I dated in Albuquerque and had like a Albuquerque Thanksgiving was they would put red chili gravy on their mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
And I was straight to the restroom. Like there was nothing about that made for a happy holidays with me. So like miss me with your regional foods. I just want scallop potatoes.
Oh, you go scallop and mash in your household?
Of course.
No carb left behind.
Yeah. No,
fair.
Of course. And then whatever's popular off the internet. So I guess I love corn. So there's my final answer.
I think I'm missing one on each of my lists, and I'll give you. And this doesn't just go for Thanksgiving. This goes every day of the year, every day of my life. This is one of the most disgusting dishes in the history of the planet, and everyone in my family except for me loves them. And it is
Brussels
deviled
sprouts.
eggs.
Oh, I
Deviled
hate deviled
eggs.
eggs.
The word devil is in it because the devil farted out this recipe, and then somebody decided that it was delicious.
It
and
is
then,
delicious. You're missing out.
And then co-opted into holidays. Deviled eggs are disgusting. They're mushy. There's no flavor. They smell
Takes
like
so much time
farts.
to
It's
prepare.
the worst
They ruin
part.
the kitchen.
It ruins the kitchen. It ruins
I
everything.
hate it.
You haven't had
hate
them made
everything.
right. Haven't had them made right.
No, people say my families are fantastic. I just personally hate
Something
them.
cayenne pepper, some other excuse. They're all garbage,
They're
Van.
disgusting.
We've never been more symbiotic than in this very moment. You could take your half of the devil egg that you're not going to eat, and I could take my half. We could combine them together and throw them in the trash, because that's how I feel about deviled eggs.
That's an annual holiday tradition, is me picking up a deviled egg. It's like, this is the year. Here we go. Garbage.
Feed it to the dog.
It's disgusting.
All right. Well,
What's your
back to
final hit?
we got baseball happening. Baseball off season. Free agency is in swing. Teams are starting to make trades. The Aaron Judge sweepstakes is open for bidding.
Ooh, so excited.
Is he going to have a team before we talk again next week?
I'm going to say no. It's going to be, I bet, all the way past both of the holidays until the big ticket items go. I think throughout November and December, some teams will pluck some pieces off the market, but I don't think there's going to be any big movement until after the holidays.
Well, I don't think anyone moves till he moves. And I think because of that, is he seeing the Giants this week? Is that right? Or next week? So first you go to the Giants, then the Giants make the offer. And as soon as the Giants make the offer, then New York knows what they have to beat, and they beat it. So as long as they want to wait, New York and Judge, that's the answer. So I would be into him being a Giant, though. Like, I like
sweet. I would love it.
It'd be so sweet. Like, especially the way we cover baseball out here in Albuquerque with everyone claiming to be a Dodgers fan. Like, it would be really good to me to see the Giants be able to just beat them often. I would love that. But I'm going to say it's done early because the rest of free agency, once it goes on, when are the winter meetings? First week of December. So by then, I would say.
And I think most of the movement will be in between the winter meetings and Christmas.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not going to wait till January this year.
I don't think so.
That was a weird lockout thing, right? Do you guys not feel that way?
It's been a couple years in a row where they did that. Really, since the CBA before this one. Last 6 years.
You were unsigned at the Super Bowl, so that was early February.
Yeah, I've been a mid to late January into early February 3 years in a row, but I am a couple of waves after Aaron Judge normally.
Well, noted. What does that do with your psyche? Does that mess you up every year, or you don't have a problem being year to year now?
I've signed a 1 year contract 8 years in a row.
Isn't that crazy?
And typically we spend October very happy because no one's allowed to call till after the World Series is over. Then the World Series ends, and my wife and I have 3 to 4 weeks of patience, and then I better have a hobby to keep me interested. So I'm glad I get to hang out with you boys.
Starting a podcast, right?
Yeah, and you're a dad now, so that's a lot of time.
Speaking of time, I think we're at the end of it, boys. This was a heck of a holiday episode. Thank you very much. I know we have some schedule stuff coming up, but we'll stay as consistent as possible. Ryan, you're going on a trip.
Yeah, I might record one from Belgium. We'll see.
I have no idea what time it is in Belgium.
Yeah, it's later there than here.
Is it tomorrow or before?
It's I believe between 7 and 9 hours ahead of us, if I had to guess.
I don't know what terminology to use for tomorrow or before, as you described it that way. Is the World Cup happening or is it over? I don't know. I get turned around.
It's happening right now.
Well, I'm not traveling. Van, you're out of town. So
traveling to Qatar?
Guys, I would never travel to Qatar. Like I'm
not allowed to go there anymore.
Oh, good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They're weird.
Ooh,
Like this is
yeah.
not that show where we talk a lot of politics and stuff, but like they're weird.
Let's continue to not talk politics. Sports it is, and food.
Sports adjacent content. Good job, boys.
Deal.
Final words.
Hell of a program. See you next time, boys.
Yeah, now you got me hungry for Thanksgiving.
So soon.
Happy holidays, boys. Good job, everyone. GG.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.